What's happening, guys? Well, Bitcoin has crashed from $30,000 all the way down to $20,000. And in this video, I'll explain to you guys the top 2 reasons I think why Bitcoin has crashed this hard. I also want to go ahead and cover some of the upcoming catalysts for the Bitcoin price recovery or possible further red numbers coming to us here in the upcoming weeks or months or even years. As usual, I'm not a financial advisor, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. It is for educational purposes only. This is the kind of thing that I just apply to my own portfolio and my own life, but I don't expect you guys to do the same. Do your own research. If you like this channel and you want to see more amazing Bitcoin blockchain news, be sure to subscribe and hit the notifications bell. And let's go ahead and head over to the articles. All right, so let's talk about the CPI. The CPI, in my opinion, is the #1 reason for the Bitcoin crash recently. Basically, the CPI is the consumer price index. It kind of takes all the prices, the gas prices, everything, and calculates the inflation percentage rate. Basically, you get a 5% wage increase every year. You get a, you a good job, you get a 5%. Oh, you did a great job, you get 10%. Well, right now, the inflation rate is at about 8%. 8.3%, and this is what is called a cooked number, which means it actually makes it look really nice. They don't include the certain rent properties and certain parts of the economy that would really raise the inflation rate on paper. This is actually much lower than the actual inflation probably is. I'm guessing it's probably around 15% right now, but this is just a number you can look at and be like, oh wow, this is what's going to happen. The stock market's probably going to dip. So a lot of investment institutions, they look at this number and they say, the Fed isn't going to inject any more money. They're going to go ahead and raise interest rates. I guess I will go ahead and move to cash or move to more safe investments, safe havens during this upcoming recession, bear market, or even a depression. Basically, what's going to happen is this Wednesday, there's going to be a Fed meeting, and Jerome Powell and his team of, lackeys or whatever they are, they're going to decide on what they're going to raise the rate to. Now, it could be 50 basis points, it could be 100 basis points, and if they really go Volcker-like, it's going to be a nice 150 basis points, and they're going to do it a couple times. Now, if it's 150 basis points, we're probably going to drop a bit more, but I don't think he's going to do that. Looking at his mindset in the past, he's very thinking inflation is transitory. We're not gonna. It's going to go away over time. It's just due to the supply demand issues because of the war in Ukraine. And they kind of blame a lot of the stuff, I feel like, on the Biden administration and kind of what they are doing overseas and with the war in Afghanistan, and kind of just blaming on other issues besides their own issues. But in the past, the history of the United States and in most monetary, basically any monetary system in general, inflation has always been caused by the money printing. So it's never caused by outside influences. It's always caused by the over excess money printing. And this was, it's been apparent, this has been a fact over human history. If they're going to basically do something on Wednesday, and we need to pay close attention to make sure to see which way Bitcoin is going to be, to see which way the equities markets move. So we need to watch this very closely and make sure we see if he's going to go ahead and raise it really crazy high and, pull out the nuclear bomb, or if he's going to go ahead and just pull out a little bazooka and, bazooka the bubble. Either way, it's going to probably crash a little bit, but if he's very light with his, Fed raising rates, it's like 50 basis points or 25 basis points, which I highly doubt, then you'll see a nice spike in the Bitcoin price and the equities market. So let's go ahead and move on to the second reason why the Bitcoin has gone down so much. And I believe this is because the Celsius network, which is a huge lending platform, it is I would say a non-decentralized, decentralized platform that, lends out tokens. It's very similar to Nexo if you've used Nexo before. And the funny part is, I'll talk about this later, but Nexo is looking at buying out their loans. But anyways, let's take a look at this article. Celsius network suspends all withdrawals with immediate effect. The lending platform Celsius has suspended all withdrawals for customers. The decision came just hours after company's CEO Alex Mashinsky seemed to deny any problems at the firm. So it's interesting, he said nothing was going wrong, and then an hour later they closed all withdrawals, which looks like he doesn't really know what's going on in his own company. Makes investors very worried about the company, I'm sure. The lending platform Celsius, which is rumored to be suffering from acute liquidity crisis, suspended all customer withdrawals earlier today. The severe measure leaves all ordinary customers high and dry and unable to access their funds. Celsius blamed extreme market conditions for its decision. Now, some of these kind of market conditions, you can kind of scroll down lower in the article. It looks like it's slightly tied to the UST Luna debacle. So the suspension of withdrawals at Celsius comes after a number of analysts predicted that the lender was suffering from liquidity issues. Analysts being Alameda Research, which at first I was taking that as they were just kind of bashing their competitor, but maybe that wasn't actually the core issue since they did end up suspending the withdrawals. Via today's announcement, Celsius had legitimized that speculation, stating that the suspension of withdrawals will allow it to stabilize liquidity. The company added that our ultimate objective is stabilizing liquidity and restoring withdrawals, swap, and transfers between accounts as quickly as possible. While the decision to suspend withdrawals will be felt deeply within the community, problems at Celsius have already reverberated around the cryptosphere. According to a recent report from Nansen, Celsius recently sold 420 million of UST. Now, we don't know if that million of UST was actually sold after the crash of UST or before, but I have a feeling that it has something to do with the crash of UST. And I don't believe that Nexo basically approved of any of the UST being listed on their platform. I need to check on that though. But this might have been the reasons for the downfall of Celsius. Just looking at that, it looks like the collapse of Terra Luna definitely was affecting other places in the crypto sphere. Nexo, like I was mentioning, it looks like they might be, they're sending an offer to go ahead and buy out the beleaguered competitor. So if Nexo ends up buying out Celsius, they're going to get all of their customers. And actually, Nexo is older than Celsius. I remember Celsius when it first came out, the website was kind of crappy. And then they also didn't have a cell phone app yet. But then, like, I was like, why would you use Celsius when you just have Nexo? But Celsius actually had better interest rates. I guess I could see how, actually, I think the merge would be very good for Nexo as well as Celsius employees, so they wouldn't have to lose their jobs. So I think this would be actually a very good thing. And it would kind of, well, it centralize the market a bit, but I feel like a centralized market, if you're gonna have a centralized market, you might as well just have one, really big lending entity that is very powerful, and it gives a lot of, has a lot of credibility. Let's talk about the Bitcoin price, and I'll just make one more point. Bitcoin has support at 23K, so this article is only 5 hours old. Bitcoin has actually already gone down to 21K. They're saying here that it's quite possible that it could go down to 8K over time. Personally, I believe 8K is very, very dire situation. They just put this in the heading just to kind of grab your attention, but I believe Bitcoin could probably go down to 15K. I've been saying this for a while. Tezos, I think I was going to buy some at 120, but I'm actually looking more at 75 cents now. I don't think it'll go down to 40 cents, but if Bitcoin goes down to $10,000 or $12,000, Tezos will also definitely see, 80 cents or 75 cents. So max pain is at $13,333, they think. If you buy around $15,000, I think you should be safe. And it says in an extreme situation, Bitcoin could pull back to $8,000. So yeah, there's a lot going on in the crypto sphere right now. You need to make sure you pay close attention. If you aren't already in stables, make sure you go ahead and put some of your allocation into stables just in case we do go down to that $13,000 mark. Again, this is not my advice or, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is just a recommendation I have for you guys just to stay safe and keep your sanity. So yeah, I really hope that this market cap sort of summary helped you guys out, helped you guys get some more information, and I will see you guys all in the next episode. Have a great day, guys, and see y'all later.